Yo guys, what is good? It's your boy Jalmong here, back again with another video, and today we'll be talking about if the Avengers were sneakerheads. Alright, so before I get into today's video, I wanted to go over two things. Now the first thing is that I literally just recorded this entire video yesterday, only for me to import it to my laptop and then to get to editing, to realize that I had it on slow-mo the entire time. So I'm basically refilming all of this stuff that I already talked about, so pretty upsetting, and I just hate that I'm having to do this twice. But the second thing, I guess, we are almost at 1,000 subscribers, and I would definitely love if you could take a second out of your day just to hit the subscribe button, because right now we are at 816, I believe, and I just want to grow this channel. It's always been a goal of mine just to be monetized, just for my channel to make a name for itself. So I would definitely love your support. If we can get to 1,000 subscribers, I definitely would appreciate it so much, just because I love making content for you guys. You know, it's always something that I've wanted to accomplish in life. So yeah, help me get to 1,000 subs. I'm actually gonna wait for you guys to click on that subscribe button yourself, and I'm not gonna continue this video until you guys do it. Did you do it yet? Alright, I believe you guys. But in today's video, we're continuing my personal series, and that is if characters were sneakerheads. Now, basically, I love sneakers, but I also love, pop culture and the media. So I love TV shows, movies, comics, video games, all of that. And I want to combine my two passions together. So basically in this series, I'll take a TV show, a movie, a group of superheroes, and I'll imagine if they were sneakerheads, what kind of sneakers would they even wear? So the criteria that I base this list off of is made out of 4 things: appearance, color scheming, powers if they have any, and personality. In the past, I have done if Team Avatar from Avatar The Last Airbender were sneakerheads, and I really enjoyed that video. I also did if the Teen Titans were sneakerheads, and I think those 2 videos I'm pretty proud of. They didn't get a lot of views, but I thought I was pretty creative with making those lists and giving them unique sneakers. So if you want to go check those out, make sure to go do so afterwards. I will have to say though that they're not the same kind of quality as this video might be in, because that was made like 2 years ago, and I haven't done a video on this series for a long time, but I'm hoping to bring it back. So what better way to bring back this series than to base this off of the original Avengers themselves? I know that there are so many Avengers out there, but for today's video, I'm only going to be going over the original 6 from the MCU. So that is made out of Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Hawkeye, and Black Widow. So with all these characters, I have comprised a list of 3 shoes that I would give to each one of them. And let me know in the comments as I'm going over them if you agree with me on this list. Also, I forgot to mention some ground rules in picking out some sneakers for these guys as well. So I know a lot of sneaker brands like Nike and Adidas love to collaborate with Marvel in making superhero inspired sneakers. So you'll have a lot of Iron Man inspired colorways with silhouettes. You'll have a lot of Hulk silhouettes. So as a rule that I created for myself, I'm not going to be using any of those shoes because I feel like that's just the easy way out. It's not allowing me to be creative at all. So for example, I'm not going to be using the Hulk Babe Studs because obviously it is a Hulk inspired sneaker, but I want to be going for sneakers that do indirectly complement these superheroes. So yep, with that being said, let me stop talking. Let's hop into it. Alright, so the first Avenger that we're going to be going over today is the first Avenger himself, and that is Captain America. Being a soldier and being the face of the United States is basically his entire theme going on. So in picking out shoes for Cap, I thought not only about his color scheming, but also about sneakers or shoes that he would definitely wear that would fit his whole theme and personality. So the first shoe that I would give Captain America would be the Yeezy military boots. Now, I think this is the perfect shoe to give Captain America just because he's already wearing combat boots, And you know, I believe that he would definitely love a pair of military boots. I mean, I can see him wearing these on missions and in training. And I mean, this shoe is also pretty subtle. There's not a ton of branding when it comes to the Yeezy military boot. And I feel like Captain America is a lot more low-key like that. He's not one to show off like flashy brands because the red, white, and blue is already showing off his entire purpose here. So I think it's only fitting for the soldier himself. The first shoe that I would give to Cap would be the Yeezy military boots. And then the second sneaker that I would give to Cap would be the Jordan 4 What Does. Now, I was thinking, shouldn't I give him the military blues because they do have a blue color scheming and they have military in the name. But I thought that the What Does were so much of a more fitting sneaker for him because it is red, white, and blue, and it's literally his entire color scheme right here. Even though the What Does aren't necessarily a patriotic sneaker, I feel like it's unintentionally a reflection of who Captain America is. I think Cap would like a pair of Jordan 4s because he is a muscular guy, so he could go for a pair of pretty chunky and bulky sneakers. So I think that what the Jordan 4s would complement his suit perfectly because they do have the same color scheming. And then finally, the third sneaker that I would give to Cap is a little bit of a curveball, but these are the Nike Cortez. Now, the Nike Cortez is not really of a hype shoe. Now, it's basically one of those traditional Nike sneakers that came out in the 80s, and ever since then, it's just been an old school kind of sneaker. You know, from fighting in World War II to being trapped in ice for decades and then waking up to a whole different world that he doesn't know of, this guy is a man of the past, which definitely means Cap is old school like that, and I feel like as a sneakerhead, he would definitely go for the older styled sneakers rather than what's hype and trending nowadays. Therefore, I think he would love the Nike Cortez. Also, the Nike Cortez is red, white, and blue again, so it does have that patriotic color scheming. I want you guys to know that it's not always about their color scheming. I certainly think that the Nike Cortez is fitting for Captain America since this is an older sneaker and he is also an older guy. So I feel like he is a man of tradition and he is one to go back to the classics. So therefore, the third sneaker that I would give him are the Nike Cortez. Alright, moving on to our second Avenger on this list, we do have the Russian spy herself, and this is Black Widow. Now, Black Widow is a trained assassin who is a spy. You know, she needs to be very stealthy, and she usually sneaks up on her enemies and takes them out before they can even fight back. So I'm thinking if she's going to be running up to her enemies and sneaking up on them, she's going to need something that won't make a lot of noise as she's running, but she's also going to need something that's pretty comfortable as well, and I'm thinking about comfy runners. So the first sneaker that I would give Black Widow would be the Yeezy 350 V2s in the bread colorway. Now, this is a primarily black sneaker and I feel like it just matches her color scheming. You know, she wears all black, and I feel like it also helps with her being a spy. You know, she doesn't stand out in wearing all black. Not to mention that when it comes to the Yeezy V2s, they don't make a ton of noise when you're walking in them. Now, boost technology is so soft that basically every step that you take is absorbed by the boost. So I think when she's running to her enemies, trying to kill them and everything like that, she is able to do so without making a ton of noise. Plus, I feel like since she's running around all day, the boost technology is also going to be very comfortable and very plush, and I feel like that will make her job like 10 times easier. Not to mention on the Yeezy text on the breads, we do have that red colorway, which I'm looking at her entire outfit in which she's wearing all black, but then in her buckle area where her belt is, we have her red Black Widow logo, so I think it would be very complimentary to that. I can certainly see the Black Widow wearing a pair of 350 V2s in the bread colorway because, like her, it is black and red, and it helps her just complete the mission. But on top of that, I'd also give her the Balenciaga Speed Trainers in the all black colorway. Now, when Black Widow is undercover, she's really trying to blend in with the crowd. So she's usually busting mob bosses, warlords, gang criminals, all that. These guys usually wear a lot of high-end stuff. So that's why I feel like she would definitely wear a pair of Balenciagas if she's trying to blend in with the crowd. Plus, looking at her silhouette, she is typically on the slimmer side. You know, looking at her suit, we see a lot of slimmed down garments. So I feel like wearing these Balenciagas also give off a pretty slim and sleek aesthetic. That's why I think it would just blend in with her entire super suit. And last but not least, I would have to give her the Doc Martens Marten boots. Now, I'm not too well versed in Doc Martens, but the boots that I'm thinking about I'll include in this image right here. And yeah, Black Widow also likes to wear combat boots, all black boots, so I thought she could definitely wear a pair of Doc Martens. Now, the other two sneakers that I gave her before are lightweight and very comfortable, but she has to have a pair of Doc Martens because look at those soles. Aren't they really chunky? And I feel like it would hurt if you're gonna kick someone with those. And as Black Widow, she's always kicking people around. She's definitely gonna need something to take down her enemies. So that's why I feel like if she was wearing her Doc Martens and she was doing all these flips and kicks, it would definitely hurt to anyone who's feeling the back end of her shoe. And moving on to the next Avenger, we do have the God of Thunder himself, and that is the mighty Thor. Now, Thor is a warrior. He has fought in so many battles, and he's always wearing his armor. And in thinking about the ideal sneaker to give to Thor, I didn't want to take the easy way out. I know a lot of you are gonna say, oh, give him the Jordan 4 Thunders, give him the Jordan 4 Lightnings. I feel like those are extremely easy and no-brainers, but unfortunately I do already have a pair of Jordan 4s for him on this list. But the first sneaker that I would give him are actually the Jordan 17s in the Soulfly alternative Lightning colorway. Now, the reason why I decided to give him this Lightning inspired sneaker instead is because it has that metallic chrome panel on the midsole. So if you guys know Thor, he's always dripped out in armor. You know, his helmet, his chest plate, and even his hammer Mjolnir is all made out of metal. So that's why I feel like these Jordan 17s would be a great sneaker for him. And I think that obviously it is Lightning inspired, so he has to have a shoe that is a lightning theme. And the second sneaker that I would give him are the Balenciaga Triple S in the gray, red, and blue colorway. Now, I thought that this sneaker definitely complements his color scheming a whole lot, right? Not only do we have the blue, we have the red, and then some gray. This whole thing definitely looks like a Thor sneaker. And I thought that because Thor, again, he's a muscular guy, he's pretty chunky, he could also go for a pretty chunky pair of dad shoes as well. And obviously, this is a Norse god, a prince of Asgard that we are talking about, so he has to come from royalty. And what do people from royalty typically have? Money. This is why I think that Thor would certainly be able to afford a pair of Balenciagas. And the last shoe that I would give to Thor is the Union Jordan 4s in the Off Noir colorway. This is another sneaker that complements his color scheming pretty well. Now, we do have the red, which is typically on his cape, the blue, which is on his pants, and then a little bit of yellow, which is obviously his blonde hair. Now, I think Thor would love a pair of Jordan 4s. I don't see why he wouldn't, but I mainly chose this sneaker just because it reminded me so much of his entire costume aesthetic right here. All right, the next Avenger that we got up is none other than the big angry green guy himself, and that is the Incredible Hulk. Now, the Hulk is so angry all the time. He doesn't even wear shoes, so to think about him as a sneakerhead was pretty hard for me because this guy's always walking around barefoot. He's so angry. I mean, his pants can barely sit comfortably at his waist, which is how much he's moving all the time and destroying stuff, throwing things all over the place. But I thought maybe he's so angry because he's uncomfortable. You know, I think he needs something that is soft, easy to put on, and comfortable so he's not walking all over glass and sharp objects. And the first shoe that I would give to the Incredible Hulk is the Yeezy Slides in the resin colorway. Now, Yeezy Slides are like walking on clouds, and this is incredibly comfortable. Maybe if Hulk wore a pair of slides, he would not be so angry all the time. Also, not to mention that this resin colorway is pretty complementary to his green color. It's not exactly green, I think it's more of like a yellow tint, but I feel like he would like a pair of Yeezy Slides nonetheless. Again, Hulk's got a lot going on in his entire body, but he doesn't have a lot going on upstairs. He just needs something that's easy to put on, and he could just slip those slides on and go running around and continue destroying and smashing things like he normally does. And the second sneaker that I would give to Hulk are the New Balance 1000s in the gray and green colorway. Now, I would say out of all the sneakers on this list, when I was looking for shoes to give to these superheroes, I saw this sneaker and I was like, this is certainly a Hulk kind of colorway. I mean, just look at the green. If you look at Hulk and you look at this shade of green, they are basically the same. if this sneaker had some kind of collaboration with the superhero, this would definitely be the Incredible Hulk. And for some reason, I thought that Hulk was definitely compatible with the brand of New Balance as well. I didn't see him as much of a Nike or Adidas kind of guy. I think that New Balance is a brand that he would like a lot. So this sneaker right here is very chunky, and I think that Hulk would be very proportional to the silhouette of the shoe. And the last sneaker that I would give the Hulk would be the New Balance 2002R Protection Pack in the Mirage Gray colorway. Now again, I wanted to give Hulk another pair of New Balance sneakers, and because this silhouette is also on the bulkier side, I feel like he would like it as well. But if you look at the Protection Pack collaboration, notice the raw edges on the upper of the sneaker. As I'm looking at all those rips and tears, that it's very similar to the rips and tears on his pants. So definitely he needs something with that distressed kind of look, right? He's not gonna wear a sneaker that is all well put together. He's not gonna wear something that is super high end. Looking at this New Balance sneaker, it is something that is worn down and kind of pre-ripped, right? So he doesn't have to worry about tearing them. So that's why I think Hulk would definitely love this kind of shoe. And also I picked this gray colorway because, if you guys didn't know, before the Hulk was made green, he was actually designed to be gray. So I feel like this gray would match his gray aesthetic if he ever decided to revert back to his gray color scheming. And next up on this list, we do have the Archer, the man who never misses, Hawkeye. Now, like with Black Widow, Hawkeye is also a trained assassin, and he's always taking out his enemies with a single shot of an arrow. However, unlike Black Widow, this guy doesn't just run up to his enemies and take them out on the spot. He is standing miles away with his bow and arrow pointed at his enemies, getting ready for that close-up shot. So the first sneaker that I decided to give Hawkeye are the Jordan 1 utility stashes. Now, Hawkeye carries around an arsenal. He's always carrying around weapons. Even in his back, he's always holding a stash of arrows. So why wouldn't he wear a pair of Jordan 1 utility stashes? Literally, that little pouch in the back of these shoes would be great for holding, you know, maybe not like full-on weapons, but it could be good for holding ammo. It could be good for holding arrowheads, maybe small tracking devices or small bombs. So he would definitely find this practical as well as tactical. This is also a black sneaker, so if he's trying to be stealthy, he's trying to blend in, this sneaker would be great for him to wear. And the next sneaker that I would give him, now I was really proud of how I found this sneaker. We do have the Off-White Out of Office in that purple colorway. Literally guys, you see it for yourselves. The guy who loves to shoot arrows, why would he not love an arrow that is on the logo of the sneaker? This is also purple, which complements his purple colorway in his suit and everything. But in looking at that arrow, I feel like it's just a representation about who he is. Why wouldn't Hawkeye like to wear something that literally represents what he does for a living? But yeah, if you guys can't see my vision on this sneaker, I don't know what will convince you, because this is an excellent Hawkeye kind of shoe. And the last sneaker that I would give to Hawkeye is a more calm and laid back kind of shoe. Now, this is more subtle, and these are the Jordan 13s in the Court purple colorway. Now, I don't have a complete reason on why I would give Hawkeye a pair of 13s, but I was mainly thinking about his MCU adaptation, and in that he's more of an older guy. He is a dad, and I thought that being an older guy, if he's like a sneakerhead, he would definitely go for more of the old school kind of sneakers, the classic sneakers. I know nowadays when it comes to 13s, not a lot of young guys like to wear those because they are not Jordan's 1 to 10, 1 to 11. So I thought out of everyone, Hawkeye would be one to appreciate the Jordan 13 silhouette, but I was also looking for a Court purple colorway, and I was looking through all of them from the Jordan 1s to the 3s, but when I came across the 13s, I thought that this one was the most subtle one because it has a lot of black in it. And again, I think that Hawkeye likes not to be seen, and if you look at his super suit right here, there's a lot of black going on with just a minor bit of purple. So this is why I think that he would definitely pull off a pair of 13s. And last but not least, we do have the armored Avenger himself, the one who saved all of humanity, the invincible Iron Man. Now, this one was probably the easiest sneaker to give to any of them, but when I thought of a sneaker to give to Iron Man, I immediately thought of the Nike Air Max. Now, the Nike Air Max are like literally a $12,000 pair of sneakers, and who can afford them? I don't know, maybe the Playboy billionaire himself, Tony Stark. Why wouldn't Tony Stark love the newest innovation when it comes to sneakers? Now, the Air Max had the self-lacing technology, and if you guys know Iron Man, he's always one to invent technology in which his suit just kind of assembles itself. He doesn't even have to put it on, it puts it on for him. So this is why I thought that the Nike Air Max would be a perfect shoe for Tony Stark. All he has to do is slip in his foot into the shoe and it's immediately going to secure itself in there. So this is why I think that Tony Stark would love the newest innovation that Nike has to offer. And the second sneaker that I would give to Iron Man would be the Air Max DNs in the University Red colorway. Now, this is one of Nike's most modern innovations when it comes to sneakers. It's a super comfortable shoe, super lightweight. And it's also very futuristic looking, which again, I think fits Tony Stark's personality of his passion to innovative technology. I think Tony Stark would obviously love to be comfortable when he's walking around, taking interviews, making presentations to everyone. So the Air Maxes are a really comfortable sneaker. Plus, if you look at the air units on the midsole, they kind of look like his repulsor beams, you know, the circle on his chest, as well as the ones on his hands. And yeah, I mean, like, it just looks like his suit. So I think it would very much complement his entire aesthetic. I feel like in any of his sneakers, if he were to install rockets on the outsoles, like on the Air Max, that would be perfect. He could literally just fly all over the place with them. And then finally, the last sneaker that I would give to Iron Man would be the Nike Fly Ease Goes in the Dornbecker collab. Now, the Nike Fly Ease Goes were originally invented for the disabled for the sake of helping them put on their sneakers a lot more easily, where they don't have to tie their shoes and they don't have to bend over to literally get their foot into their shoe. Now, all they have to do is literally just step into the shoe and it folds in for them, and boom, they're secure and good to go. I think that this is such a simple invention, but at the same time, this is something that Tony Stark would love as well. Again, looking at his suits when he just kind of like puts his hand into the machine and then the whole thing just assembles his entire suit, it's giving the same vibe when you're talking about the Fly Ease Goes. All he has to do is just slip his foot in and his shoe is automatically on. I don't see why Tony Stark would not love that. Now, the reason why I gave Tony Stark the Dornbecker pair was because it does have a lot of red on it, and I thought it would be complementary to his red suit. I just think that Tony Stark would definitely love all of Nike's innovation and technology that it has to offer. He'd probably even contribute to all of these inventions as well to make sure that they do have like the state-of-the-art technology to get these shoes going. So yeah, in our world, I feel like Tony Stark would definitely be like an entrepreneur for Nike. I feel like he would like that a lot. But yep, that's everything that I basically got today in imagining if the Avengers were sneakerheads. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope you guys are enjoying this series idea. I personally like it a lot. I think it's a lot of fun to kind of test my creativity, to go through all the different sneakers and to see which sneaker would be best for them. I hope it made sense to you guys and you guys understood my logic. And if not, I'm probably yapping this entire time, but I would very much appreciate it if you let me know in the comments down below if you do see where I'm coming from and if you agree with any of the sneakers. But I also want to hear from you guys based on the next episode for this series. Now, I could do other TV shows, movies, or video games, or superhero teams. Let me know in the comments what you want to see next because I will take that in consideration. And again, if you guys liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you guys want to hear more from me, smash the subscribe button because more will be on the way. Again, this is If Characters Were Sneakerheads, the Avengers edition. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.